If you're using social media for your business, here are a few new Instagram updates that are worth keeping an eye on. First, Instagram has been testing this premium subscription features, including something called silent watchers. This would allow users to view stories anonymously, meaning their name wouldn't appear on the viewer list. Would you want that option to view the stories anonymously? Or does that feel like it could get messy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Next, Instagram is also testing a more customizable algorithm experience. Users may soon be able to access an algorithm panel directly from their home feed, where they can tell Instagram what they want to see more or less of. It's another step toward making each user's feed more personalized. And finally, carousel analytics are becoming much more detailed. Similar to the watch time on Reel, you'll be able to see how many slides people have viewed and whether they made it all the way to the very end of your carousel. And this gives businesses much better understanding of what content is actually holding people's attention. New features are constantly changing how we create and consume content, but having more tools doesn't automatically lead to better content. Next, we'll talk about one of the biggest tools that people are using today, AI, and some of the most common mistakes businesses are making with it. A lot of businesses are using AI to save time, but some are losing their voice in the process. One of the biggest mistakes is not reviewing what the AI produces. People often take the output and use it exactly as is, without editing or matching their own voice. And that is where content starts to feel generic. Another issue is leaving AI patterns in writing. Things like overly polished phrasing, repetitive structures, or wording that doesn't really sound like a normal person. And even when the information is useful, the delivery can still feel off. And there's also that assumption that AI is always correct. But AI can misunderstand context, oversimplify ideas, or even tell you what it wants you to hear instead of what's actually accurate. And finally, a common mistake is relying AI for everything. And when that happens, content starts to lose personality and it becomes harder to distinguish from everyone else using the same tools. AI should be the starting point and not the final product, because the more AI becomes part of content creation, the more important it is to understand what it still needs a human touch. As AI becomes more common, originality is the real differentiator. When everyone has the same access to the same tools, content starts to look and sound more similar. That is why it's becoming easier to tell when something feels AI generated or overly automated. The content might be technically correct, but it often lacks personality, perspective, and lived experience. And those are the elements that people actually connect with. And even things like customer service, people still prefer human interaction over automated responses because they want understanding, judgment, and nuance. And it's the same with content. You can have the perfect structure and clean writing, but without a human point of view, it doesn't stand out. And the more AI content there is, the easier it is to spot a real human content. Because as AI becomes more accessible, being human is no longer the default. It's what makes you different. Follow along for more weekly insights on AI and social media and how to use these tools without losing what makes content human.